Hi, Sam Fields here from Matter Solutions, and today we're going to explore the topic of pay-per-click advertising and trends that are coming in 2020 and how they're going to change the game. I was a little hesitant to do this video because I did a similar one last year on the 2019 trends, and I'm still about 8 out of 10 to go, so most of the predictions are still on track to actually becoming true. It just means that they're taking a little bit longer than expected, and I expect them to happen in 2019 and 2020 as well. Anyway, my film producer actually convinced me to do the video because of two things. One, I'm actually using a lot of these tips to great effect with current clients. And two, this doesn't actually require me to be a psychic, it just requires me to use my expert observation. In 2018, this next trend that we discussed was my most hated feature on the Google Ads system. In saying that though, I have warmed up to it in the past few months. This particular feature, I'm actually hoping that my clients' competitors don't ever grab a hold of it because it is so effective. However, I was raised to share with those in need, and so somewhat begrudgingly, I'm going to let you know that if you are an e-commerce store, I would strongly recommend using smart shopping. Honestly, if you had asked me to do a smart shopping video in 2018, we would have had to have put an R rating on our channel because I hated it. But since 2018, the smart shopping campaigns have improved considerably. For example, in the middle of this year, I had a client who had a normal shopping campaign that seemingly had hit a glass ceiling of results. And that seemed to be the case no matter what I adjusted in the campaign. So I bit the bullet and I actually tried out a smart shopping campaign for this particular client. Based off my previous experiences with smart shopping, I warned the client that there would be a slight downtime during their slower time of the year, but that it would increase in the future. And I wanted at least 2 to 3 months worth of data before I even considered pulling the pin. The client agreed to this strategy during their slow time in the year, and after the initial 3 weeks of learning and some minor adjustments across the entire account, the improvements started coming in massively. And it's continually improved to this day, and it keeps getting better, which is why I fully recommend a smart shopping campaign. I'm currently experimenting with a couple of different smart shopping campaigns in a couple of different accounts. I've got 2 things that you should be thinking about when it comes to smart shopping. Firstly, give it time to learn. A Google Smart Shopping campaign will take about 3 weeks to learn from the data it gets given. While I understand that there is issues with having a 3-week downturn for any business, if done correctly, it should bounce back and bounce back in a really big way. Obviously, there's no guarantees, but I have used a smart shopping campaign to great effect across a number of different accounts with varying degrees of success, and depending on the required ROI, you should see continued improvements the more data that goes into the account. And the second thing you should be thinking about with the smart shopping campaign is actually using a search campaign as a top of the funnel campaign rather than a closer campaign. This may sound odd, but smart shopping uses the traffic from your ads account in order to identify potential buyers. The experiment that I've been employing in regards to this point is that I use a search campaign to get people into the account, and so Google's machine learning learns off people from the top of the funnel all the way down to when they buy. In the past, I have been super wary of anything related to Google's automation, as long-time subscribers of this channel will be able to attest. Because again, I hated it. It's mostly about the lack of control and the blind insistence by Google representatives to implement it based on nothing but their word. As I have mentioned recently, properly and cautiously implementing any of these Google Smart strategies is the best way to go about it. My recommendation is to start with a small budget, test and measure continuously, and once an ROI is reached, then you can think about increasing your budget. While I was once resistant to automated bidding and smart campaigns, The improvements in machine learning and of course my experience with careful implementation has changed my perspective. So the key takeaway here is to implement things carefully, but also don't be hesitant to check out something that may work for you because things are improving with the Google Smart system. Sometimes doing something different with your pay-per-click advertising can go a long way. One thing that's become really clear in the past few years is that while Google owns the majority of the market share, there's plenty of other platforms to go round. So here's our second trend. Platforms such as Amazon, Facebook, LinkedIn, Bing, and Pinterest have all revamped or revitalized, or were already vitalized and vamped, and they're going to work for you. Proverbial wisdom says don't put all your eggs in one basket, and the digital realm is just the same. Investing across a variety of different platforms makes sense. It allows you to identify new markets that you can use for your marketing funnel. The reality is you're probably using several of these platforms already, and even more if you're an e-commerce store, or at least you should be. Amazon in particular has a distinct benefit for e-commerce stores on two counts. Firstly, people looking on Amazon have a high intent to buy. And even if they're on Amazon just to browse, often they're there to browse for certain items in particular. And that means that you can get your product in front of them even if they're higher in the funnel, because then you can get them on your remarketing list or your marketing funnel. The second benefit, and what will lead into our third trend, is Amazon's Alexa, which is Amazon's smart assistant and voice search. Our key takeaway from this point is that you shouldn't be putting all your eggs in one basket in regards to Google Ads. Try out a variety of different platforms because they're going to benefit you in 2020. Recently, I've been doing a lot more advertising on LinkedIn, which has been really cool because I'm getting some really good results from it. If you want to learn more about LinkedIn advertising, let me know in the comments below and subscribe to the channel. And now we're on to our third trend. So last year's video, I included voice search as a trend that was going to happen in 2019 and that you'd be optimizing your keywords based off voice search. And that's one of the reasons why I was hesitant to put it in this video, because you're not necessarily optimizing your keywords around voice search just yet. However, my research team has let me know that 41% of adults this year are using voice search, and it's expected to rise to 50% next year. So it definitely has to be included in the 2020 trends video. And I'm also including the Alexa voice search because with competition comes innovation. And I reckon next year is going to have some massive improvements to voice search across all platforms. Speaking of statistics, my video producer has let me know that 50% of you that watch this channel are not subscribed. So what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button. Before we move on to the last pay-per-click trend, hit that like button and let me know what you want to improve in 2020. So finally, the last pay-per-click trend of 2020 that's going to blow up is definitely video. I've been spruiking video as the next big thing ever since I've landed in this industry, and it's just getting better and better. I mean, you're here right now, aren't you? In saying that, this video isn't really advertising, but we are pushing it across a number of different platforms. In order to capture people's attention before they can hit that skip now button, we're doing a whole heap of short, sharp, and to the point videos that get our message across ASAP. We're also doing some 2-minute videos that we're putting in the discovery section, which gives a longer explanation of some of the things that people might be searching for, but they also allow people to come to our website or to our channel. The other two types of videos we're doing is short 60-second videos and also longer 10-minute full-on videos like this one right here. The 60-second videos we're putting across a variety of different social media platforms, including Facebook and LinkedIn. And the 10-minute videos, provided they've got a really good retention rate, we're putting them on landing pages so people can watch the video and also follow along with the transcript on that landing page. Hell, it's even been proven that Facebook video stories are effective at selling products. So with 81% of businesses using Facebook video marketing, and that's including us, we reckon you should get on it too. We actually do all these videos because something like 95% of viewers will retain the message in a video form compared to 10% who have just read text. So out of text and video, the better ROI is likely going to come from video. In 2020, experts are predicting that 80% of all internet traffic is going to be on video. So while I have been recommending this medium for many years, I would strongly recommend that you get on it now for the following 2 reasons. If you're watching this, then you're probably nodding your head because you know that I am your favorite YouTube presenter, and if I'm doing it, then you should be doing it too. And secondly, 2020 will see video marketing, and in particular YouTube, increase its market share drastically. So in order to be ahead of the game, you need to be in the game. Seriously, just grab out your phone and start recording small videos here and there about what you're doing in your day-to-day work life. The key takeaway here is to just start creating videos. If you don't have a budget, there are a range of different options, and it can be as simple as pulling out your smartphone. So there it is, the pay-per-click trends for 2020 and my observations about why they're going to be making a massive change to the market. So you need to get underway and set up smart campaigns, voice search optimized keywords, any of the new platforms that you could test out, and of course, get into video ASAP. I've been Sam Fields, you've been awesome. Like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you next week.